You back on YouTube?
You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
You hear it.
maybe you have to set that up first and then broadcast. Maybe you can't do it the other way.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you can't broadcast and then try
Then set up. Hey, listen, the reason the other one didn't have an intro was because the intro software was giving me problems.
Oh, you're talking about
My video,
intro
yeah.
you do for your videos? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so when that series starts for that R team, I added Bucky to the team. Bucky's really into that. He's like right on. He wants to do it. So Bucky's now part of the team. I already made his intro video the other day, but I can't put it up until I got all this other stuff. Boy, do I ever got some funny stuff coming up for the R team.
Hey, listen.
That weird noise in the background is my dog. I'm not torturing somebody. She's moaning while she's chewing on her bone. In case you're wondering, got somebody in the tied up pause or something. Anyway, go ahead.
Next time you talk to Bucky, tell him, or if he's watching this.
Oh, I don't talk to him like you. I only see him on videos. But go ahead. Tell him what.
Anyway, if you're watching this, Bucky, I'll just send out this message. I'm going to do we're going to finish reading Batman Vampire soon, like for next Halloween. You know the problem with that, Cryptic, is it's a big ass book. It was the first request I ever got. He actually requested I do that. Bucky did.
Yeah, I see he gets a couple comic books here and there, and a couple like you know those, what do you call those? Like they're like a comic book, but it's almost like a novel. It's
Graphic
has like a harder cover than a comic book.
graphic
You know what I mean?
novel.
Yeah, he has a bunch of those. I've seen them.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, that guy sure collects a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he seems to have a hell of a lot of fun doing it too.
He's a really quiet guy too, is the thing.
Yeah, if he had a PS4, I definitely would add him up. But I think he has a bunch of weird video games, but he don't have no PS4. He has like handheld stuff, and I saw his brother Jeremy playing. I don't know if that was Super Nintendo or PlayStation.
Oh, he actually has a PlayStation, I think, or at least he used to. He set up a chat thing for like anyone to join way back in the day. I don't know if he still does that. You'd have to message him. Anyway.
I made him a really cool video. You know how I had those 3 intro videos, one for you, and then one for Games and Greens, and then the other one for Travis. And I had those like little intros. Remember how like Travis had that like Weird Al Yankovic, like just eat it, just eat it, and he's doing all those clips. Well, I made one for Bucky. It's pretty good. Yeah. I can't let you see it. I can't let you see it, but I can let you hear it in the background. You know that noise, don't you?
Yeah, Miami Vice.
No,
right?
No, you had the M right. Not Miami.
Magnum?
Magnum P.I.
With Tom
Your mom
Selleck.
probably seen this show a few times when it was back in the 80s. I was a little kid when it was on, but my mom used to watch this all the time. What is Bucky's intro sort of has this in it? Yeah, he's doing his intro, man. At first, I did his first. This is the 3rd intro. I did his first intro and I didn't like it. I can't really remember what it was. I just didn't like it. Then I did his second one and it was almost going to be it was almost going to keep it, but I was like, I think I can come up with a better song, and I was thinking this song's going to make Bucky feel like it's too much of a joke, because it was, I wonder if I still have it, but it was going to have a different theme song, but then I thought, no. Bucky's pretty enthused about this, and he doesn't want to just be like a sidekick. He wants to be something better. So then I came up with something better for him. But, yeah, because Rob can take care of all the silliness.
Hellboy.
That's Rob, right?
Yeah, that's it. I think I did keep it. Yeah, I did. Here it is. I think it is.
The Jeffersons.
That was his old one. But yeah, when I get doing things, I don't just like slap it together and it's done. You should see, I'll make things over and over and try to fix things. You know, I'm no professional. I'm just this guy with a lot of time on my hand, I guess. But like that one clip I did with you doing the bombing on the apes. Like, it's just there and done, but you would have no idea how many times I changed things, and I wanted to make your head tilt right when you said the words, and I changed things, and eventually I was just like...
Mom was really impressed with your intro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like the intro that your mother made for you, or you and your mother, I don't know. So I thought, I want to keep that, but I want to add my own stuff to it. So yeah, I kept the beginning that came in with your music, and then that, and then, you know, I threw my own little stuff in where changed it where it's like the Batman
Fighters
thing.
approaching the Batcave.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad your mom liked that. I thought that, yeah, like I told you, man, I wasn't just gonna have a little tiny spot where it's just like, hi, I'm Bob, and that's it. Oh, hell no. Same when I do those art files, you guys are all gonna be like, a big part of the story. It's not just gonna be like a little spot, it's gonna be big parts, and I don't know what the hell you'll be doing, but you'll be doing some crazy things. Like,
for next Halloween, tell me what you're doing. That way we can make like 2 connecting videos.
oh yeah, that's where,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can also like give you a couple things that would I'll say, hey Bob, save this or that, and then you can do it in your videos and then you can use it. Because like I always do two big specials every year. I always do the Christmas and Halloween. And there's nothing really in between except for only 10 episodes. But yeah, like, man, you guys will be doing some crazy shit from saving, you know, Al Gore from Bigfoot to, you know, I mean, digging up Vincent Price, you know, because for whatever reason, you know. Yeah, I mean, they'll be just, like, I mean, these are just, like, this is not going to happen. I'm just, like, giving you crazy examples. Like, there'll be adventures that'll just be crazy. And, of course, you know, I'll be, like, right there, like, you guys didn't do anything.
That was the best part in the whole thing. For all,
yeah, yeah, I know. We're rough. It's like we going home, we see Christmas. We didn't do anything, and we kind of didn't. You just had the witch chase you and shit.
Aren't you the sad sack? I am Kolu's greatest friend.
Have you seen do you watch that guy that other guy that recently commented on my video, Big Tender? Is he like one?
I have no idea who he is. I saw the comment. The only people that comment on your video that I know is that, you know, that guy that's called Land CEO Canada.
Yeah.
He comments on your videos sometimes. Yeah, like they have like he goes up in helicopters and looks for Bigfoot and stuff. They never find it. And then he's got some big signing coming up where they're going over to Italy to look for Bigfoot, and so they're being paid for. Somebody signed them, but yeah, he's a really, really, really nice guy.
He
Yeah,
legitimate.
I see every once in a while. I see comments on your videos. Yeah.
He legitimately looks for Bigfoot, though, right?
Yeah, for real. Like no joking. Like he goes up in helicopters and has like thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of cameras. Like he's not some guy going out like with his camera on his phone. No, he's going up in a helicopter.
One of my
Yeah, I think there's 4 of them.
my opinion on that is, what are they gonna do if they ever find Bigfoot? You know what I
I
mean?
don't know. No idea, man.
Say they were to find Bigfoot tomorrow. What would they do with him? Yeah.
No idea, but you know what you just reminded me of? You just reminded me of something I hadn't thought of since the 1980s. I used to collect a comic book called Alpha Force with Sasquatch. Do you remember Alpha Force?
And Wolverine was part of Alpha Force too.
Yeah, I used to collect that way back when Sasquatch used to have his own comic book series, I think, too, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up right now.
I do
Sasquatch
remember
has
Alpha Force.
Sasquatch, Marvel.
They even appeared in the old '90s cartoon.
Okay, he first came out in Uncanny X-Men, April 1979, so he's been around a while.
Yeah.
His team affiliations are Omega Flight, Alpha Flight, Beta Flight, and Gamma Flight. Yeah, I remember this guy, man. I don't know him from the 2000s, but I remember him from the 80s, and I liked him. I liked him, and I liked Wolverine. Oh, God, I got one for you to look up one day if you don't know, Bob. You ever heard of Captain Canuck?
Yeah, they just gave him
God.
They just gave him a new book too.
Oh, he's still going? Is he still kicking? I somewhere I have all of his comics. I mean, every original from back in, I think it was the 70s. My dad gave them all to me, like...
He stopped for like years
ago.
Then now he's doing his own. They're doing.
I always wanted to see Captain Canuck, even though he'd lose. But I wanted to see, when I was a kid, I wanted to see Captain Canuck versus Captain America. But when you're a kid, you don't clue in. But when you're an adult, Captain America would kick his ass. He'd just throw the shield and that'd be it. Ding, right in the head.
But he
Now
could
done.
Captain Canuck could beat Captain Britain though.
Yeah, but not Captain America. In my opinion. I mean, I guess anything can happen if you're the one writing the story. Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking about you the other day. I was thinking, yeah, I get along with that Bob pretty good. I said, he's a good guy.
Hi, Mom. Welcome
Yeah,
home.
we're gonna have fun
Cryptic,
with those
yeah.
Star Files. Hey, Mom.
Starfire.
Got these for Grammy. Oh, it even says why.
Okay.
Yeah, like, did your mom ever watch that one episode there where Bob's an alien, where Rob says that
Yeah.
your mother knows who shot JFK?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
Rob. Yeah, my dad was watching the Christmas video. I sent him something, a link, and he was watching a couple days ago, and he said that he goes, well, that's not really my kind of thing. He goes, but I watched it, and he goes, it was pretty funny. He liked little stuff like about with Richard Nixon and Al Gore, and he just thought it was kind of funny in the Planet of the Apes and Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
I really get a kick out of how that's part of my thing, is like Rob's not just a special agent, but he's the illegitimate, not normal, but illegitimate son of Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. I'll have to do a whole series or a whole video on that where Rob explains how that happened. I don't know if Stanley Kubrick ever did any filming in Scotland. No, I'm gonna look that up right now.
You know that I thought of you today because Conan went back to Marvel again. Conan's owned by Marvel again.
I had no idea what the hell he's been doing. See, I don't know what's been going on in comics since the late 80s, really, to be honest with you. My things changed in my life for what I liked, and comics started getting really expensive. I mean, like, I started off, they're 25 cents, and when I quit, they were 75 cents for Marvel, and they had these fancy comics. Remember you and I were talking about Eclipse?
Yeah.
And they had the fancy, the paper was different than a regular comic. Like a regular comic book felt like a newspaper, you know? But these other ones felt like expensive. The paper was really nice. I don't know what that's called, what the proper name for it is, but those Eclipse ones were like $1.25. And I remember when comics, I remember getting a few things around there coming in and out in different phases, but then they started to go to like $2 and $3 for some of these other ones that I liked. And then I stopped collecting them completely, and then for about 3 years, the only thing I collected, and I didn't collect it religiously, I just picked on one up here and there. Remember you and I were talking about Heavy Metal, the magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to pick them up, right up until I was probably about 28, 29,
Yeah.
Picked them up, not religiously, just maybe once every few months I might be in the
Hey,
store.
listen, I included you and Bucky in my superhero story. I hope you don't mind.
When's that supposed to be, like, done? Are you, like, just starting this, or...
I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle.
And how long ago did you start this?
I've been writing.
When did you first start this?
I've been writing now for years, but I only recently sat down and really got serious about it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you'll have to give me some ideas too about some of the ways you want to be able to fight. Some of the ways you want to be able to fight, or some of the things that you want to figure out or do for, like, where some of these adventures, because like I say, like, you're gonna have adventures where you guys will be like going to fight like a Slyclops. I'm not talking about the comic book one. I'm talking about, like,
you're talking about like the Odyssey.
And let's just say you guys are going there to save a magic, get the magic lamp, because there's a princess in there that'll tell Al Gore how to save the environment. You know what I mean? And off you guys go, but then on the island's like a Slyclops. That's how my brain works. Like some crazy story.
What gave me away?
In my story, they have in my story, the R-Files is like a cartoon that kids watch. You know what I mean?
That's quite the cartoon for kids.
And nobody knows if it's real or fake. Not even the people that I sold the cartoon to. You know what I mean? Not even the people I sold the cartoon to. They're not sure if it's fake either. They're like, I'll have to, like, you know. But it's funny.
Yeah, it's really, I'm with you, man, because it's nice thinking up stories and stuff, and I try to throw mine on video. Crazy dumb stuff. Silly. I like to make people laugh, like, I can't make, I could probably make a really good serious story, but I would need, like, better equipment than Windows Editor. But so far, I can just make these little funny ones, and I enjoy it. And Rob, I never told you, when I first met Rob years ago and was making these videos, he messaged me an email, and he told me that thanks a lot for doing these R-File videos with him. And he used to have a whole bunch of videos he used to make on his own saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And then he told me that he was really depressed in his life, and he was thinking about killing himself. And he said he was like right at his lowest point, and he said I came out of the blue, bang, out of nowhere. You know, we didn't know each other, and then I started making these R-File videos, and he started watching them because he never used to be part of them. I used to just take clips of him doing stupid stuff, and then I'd make a skit up and just use his clips. And then he said to me, you know, I was going to kill myself, and he like really cheered me up. He goes, whenever I'm sad, I watch these videos, and I'm like, holy shit, man, are you that bummed out? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, let's work together. I'll give you like a script, and we can like make better ones. And he's like, oh, I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome. He goes,
it's really
the way we went, and that's been about 2 years now.
Yeah, no, I totally know where he's coming from. It's really depressing. It's really frustrating making these YouTube videos sometimes. I'm happy.
Yeah, he was busting his ass off because he wanted to make money, you know, and then he was doing everything he could, and he wanted to make money, and he said, you know, and then YouTube came up with this bullshit thing where now you gotta have 1,000 subscribers and 100,000 views before you can apply for making money, and that's not right. And that was all because Logan Paul did that bullshit where he filmed that fucking Asian person that committed suicide and found a guy hanging in the forest. Right there, they started losing, and then we pay for it. That's not fair.
Yeah.
If he never did
it's always the little
YouTube
guy.
would be the same. Yeah. Yeah. Because they were losing
I'm
sponsors.
right there with you.
They were losing sponsors left and right from what he did. And YouTube had to come up with something quick. And then they did. They got rid of us people so that this way the sponsors could make more money, and all the big sponsors now were only sponsoring those big guys that are getting, you know, 100,000 views a day.
The Flash.
And then now they don't have to worry about paying people like you and me that get 10 views a day, and then they're like, oh, we owe this guy 5 cents. Well, those 5 cents add up per video. And then at the end of the month, you might have 20 bucks. Well, now those days are over.
And most people
I was averaging about 80 bucks a month, and that's gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Most people aren't like you and me, and they don't remember the old days of YouTube. The old in the old
but
days.
I wasn't doing it for the money. They still owe me money. I mean,
YouTube still get out.
Yeah, I'm gonna look right now. AdSense.
YouTube still owes him money.
I can claim this anytime I want. I can claim this anytime I want. I gotta sign in. I'll tell you what they owe me. I can claim this anytime I want. This is the last check they owe me. The last amount of money they owe me is $53.49.
$53.49, he said.
Wow.
Isn't that some?
That's it. That's it. Where I was averaging about 80 bucks a month. That's my last month. My last month was before they quit and did that thing and cut us all off. That was my last month, was 53 bucks. You know, I'm gonna claim it. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna reapply, and then when they deny me, which they probably will, because they deny anybody that's not mega huge, then I'll take my 53.75.
Yeah.
When you take your money right now, if I take my money right now, then I can never make money ever again off the Crypto Cowboy account. I have to make a new account, and I'm not going to do that, because if I have 1,000 subscribers and they accept me, then I can keep my Crypto Cowboy account and then keep making money off that. Because I don't want to remake an account. Man, that takes a lot of work to get like 600 subscribers.
No.
Raiden.
Like, I have a couple of videos that went viral. I have this one video that's like 56,000 views to how to fix your PlayStation joystick.
I'd love to do that one day. Have my video go viral.
Well,
none of my video.
You could have did one thing that, in my opinion, can I tell you the truth that you're getting offended? I am your friend, so I should be able to tell you the truth.
Yeah, no, we're friends.
I thought you dropped the ball on the Stan Lee thing. I thought I was waiting I kept on going on YouTube off and on throughout the day, and I was like, I really thought that you were going to come out with a statement about it that day. And because if you did, every single person that day or the next day that typed in Stan Lee's dead statement or whatever, you would have gotten like 1,000 hits, man, because Stan Lee's huge. And your title would have been like Stan Lee's dead, you know, something like that.
You know,
And then you could have just talked about it, and then you would have had so many views because, one, that's huge. He's the comic god. He's Stan Lee.
yes.
And then two, you're the comic guy. And I was like, why didn't Bob make a video about that? Man, he should have. Man, he really dropped the ball. He could have got like hundreds or thousands of
I
views.
absolutely agree with you though that Stan Lee's was huge, and I
That's
mean,
other things you could do, man. You could have a video title it Stan Lee, well, you know, like, or whatever, and then you can talk about what Stan Lee you like about him, what you don't, what he did for you. Like, you don't have any stories like that talk about how you got into comics. And you got to have a good title. Have things like Why I Like Comics, or How Did I Get Into Comics. Like, that's your title. And have a video, and like, maybe people, like, I don't know, like, I don't know how you got into comics. Maybe there's some of your
You like broadcast
viewers that want to know.
yeah,
and you're just sitting there.
Fighters approaching Kondak.
we're talking.
Cool ideas like that, you know what I mean? Like,
They can hear us.
why I got into comics, like just like little stories, or why I like Spider-Man. You got those titles, and people will like.
From where I come, mine is
And you
common.
gotta write it in your tags.
Way to stick your
You know
foot
how to
in
write
the
it in your
tank.
tags, right?
Begin.
Yeah, actually, Mom does
Yeah.
this. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna let you in on a trade secret. Mom does the tags.
Yeah, I figured that
I'm-
I know she helps with the.
Mom does the tags. I'm just the face.
It's okay.
I'm just the face of the world according to Bob.
You're the scarecrow, but your mom's all straw inside.
Exactly. You got it.
Little hair, you ain't standing up.
I'm kicking his ass. I'm actually winning this one. So. Yeah. I totally get what you're saying though.
Yeah, you should have a few videos though that with titles like why I like comics. What got you into comics?
You
What
may
makes
withdraw.
Bob click, you know, like, I don't know, like, I'm sure, like, Bucky and I would sit and watch the entire thing, like, why does Bob like comics? How did Bob get into comics? What did it? See, for me, you know, I was little, my mom just bought them for me. I was like about 3 or 4, and then my dad used to
Flash
collect them.
wins.
He was a serious collector, you know, and he knew his comics right from the late
Yeah.
60s on, so that's how I got into them. And
I've-
plus, when I was a kid, they were dirt cheap. 25 cents, man.
I've been into them since the 90s, and it was my grandma. You know where we used to, you know where we used to go? The dollar store. You knew that one. I told you that part of that story.
For me, it was just where you go down to the convenience store, man. Go down where they sell like cigarettes and pop and chips and hockey cards and 25-cent comic books, and they had them great. And I grew up in the era where comic books were huge, man. They were huge, and they'd have like a great big giant magazine rack with adult magazines. I'm not talking like just dirty magazines. I mean adult, like
You mean like
Hot Rod magazines.
Howard the Duck?
Anything that anybody that under 12 years old wouldn't care about. Who cares about Hot Rod and cars and all that stuff? But down below, they used to have this little section for comic books, and then they had another rack beside it that was only comic books. That's how big they were, and every freaking place you go, man, they were comic book stores. I haven't seen a comic book store in 20 years. Man, when I was a kid, they were everywhere. An actual true comic book store like you go to, where you have videos where you and that one guy talk all the time.
Yeah, he's my local
man,
guy.
I remember those places. I used to hang out at those places, man. And then, like, I have a video where I'll make a new video, and that's what I'll do. I'll make a new video the next day or two, and I'll make sure it has your name in it. It'll say something like Man Thing for Bob, and I'll show you my Man Thing statue again. I have another video, but screw it. I'll just show you another one. Yeah, I love the Man Thing. I fell in love with him, and I really, 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 really liked Howard the Duck. And there was this, I remember I had the original comic. I don't know what it'd be worth now. But I was only like about 4 years old, so I didn't give a shit. But I read it and read it and read it. And you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I had the original comic book of Spider-Man vs. Tarantula. Remember Tarantula?
The tarantula with the brown...
With the headband on, he wore like red and blue, I think. I'm going to look this up. Spider-Man vs.
Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn.
Poison Ivy.
Tarantula. There we are. Tarantula. Tarantula, 1974. Yep, that would be right. He came in 1974, so I'd be 3 years old then.
I know the name.
A year later, Canada always gets the shit a year later, so I would have been about 4 years old when I had that comic book. Oh my god, I remember the cover. There it is. Oh my god. Spider-Man issue 136. Yeah, I used to have that. I don't have it no more.
I used to have the original Spawn.
I wasn't big on Spawn. I have a friend that you would just love to death. He collects McFarlane toys, and he has, the Spawn stuff. But he doesn't just have that. He has almost everything you could dream of. And he has this great big room. It looks like the size of a living room. And the walls are littered with all these things, but they're all in the original casing. He has Kiss, Alice Cooper, Spawn, superheroes galore. Oh,
he's pretty metal then.
He has probably about $8,000 worth of McFarlane toys. I'm not shitting you. And you gotta remember though, some of them are worth a lot of money. He has Jason, Freddy, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all of them, man, everything. And he's got them displayed in cases. It's not like he just put like a thumbtack on the wall. Like he's pretty serious. If you're gonna spend that much money, you're gonna be pretty serious.
That would be my dream right there.
You would love to go. You would love to visit this guy's apartment.
That would be.
It's like a giant. It's like an apartment. But it's almost the size of a house. It's like old-fashioned house split in two.
That would be.
He has some. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
That would be my dream right there. That my characters get sold the McFarlane toys. They make like. Have you seen You've seen the action figures then? They're so detailed.
Oh yeah. I used to be a really crazy artist. I guess I still am an artist, but I don't have the muse no more. I don't do it. I used to do a lot of paintings, and I created a character called the Rabbit Killer, and he became so popular in my area. What he looked like was like Roger Rabbit with like fangs, like a bunch of sharp teeth, kind of like that. And he was, and I, this one guy liked him so much, he to this day he has a tattoo of my drawing on his arm. He's like, do you mind if I take if you could draw me a picture so I could take it to my tattoo artist and have it put on my arm? I'm like, okay. So I drew it for him, and I was like about 21. Drew it for him, says, here you go. Yeah, it was really popular. I used to have the nickname called Rabbit, so I used to play hockey, and it had nothing to do with that guy. And you know, everybody's like, Rabbit this, Rabbit that, and I was like, screw this. They started teasing me about Roger Rabbit. Thanks. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I drew a picture of Roger Rabbit with like a bunch of fangs playing hockey, and then, so, you know, I became a character, and I used to make comic books of it. Yeah, I used to love it. I probably made about 4 or 5 comic books of it. It was like this, like, really bad rabbit, and he used to be an imaginary friend of this little kid. And this little kid used to get in trouble. And always do bad things. And he used to always blame the rabbit, but every time everybody looked, the rabbit wasn't really there. It was just his imagination. And he was a little bad boy. He burned down a barn. And I used to do comics, and little boy kind of looked like, you know, Calvin and Hobbes or whatever.
Yeah.
The little boy kind of looked like him. And his name was Wayne. Called him Wayne. Yeah. And that Wayne would be like sitting on the curb corner eating a bowl of like Captain Crunch, and then, you know, the rabbit would show up and tell him to go do something bad, and he'd do it. And when he got caught, he was no rabbit. He's not a rabbit. Well, I used to make those comics all through high school, and people used to like ask me to get them, and I had to photocopy them on the old photocopier in the library. My God. Yeah, I really wanted to be a comic book artist back then, and then I wanted to be an oil painter. And
I'm looking for a decent artist, so when my story gets...
Well, don't think I won't be me. My days are over. I don't have the muse anymore. There used to be this thing I called the people that play guitar and artists. They know what the muse is. It's like this thing controls you.
Yeah. Like you have to let the story out, you know.
I don't have that no more. It's been gone for probably about 18 years. But I got this painting, Bob, on my wall, an oil painting. It's just crazy, and it has like this like sewing machine that turns into like a monster, and it's like sewing up this like baby with a mustache. It's like 1993 or something, or 1990. Yeah, that was pretty crazy back then. I had this other one where, another oil painting where the headboard was just like baby in a crib, and the headboard turns into turning into the angel of death, and it's like smothering the baby with a pillow, and it's called Crib Death. And I'm like, holy shit, what the hell was wrong with me like 30 years ago?
What were you?
But it was just this like burst of like creative energy. It was just coming out from everywhere. I was like doing this other one, you know, a Mustang car, right? And then you know a Mustang horse. Well,
yeah.
I had this oil painting of a Mustang car giving birth to a Mustang horse, and the horse is coming out, and it's all in agony, and it's all like half horse and flesh and car parts and spokes coming out.
That's messed up, man.
Oh, it was. It was, and the art teacher just loved it, man. She was just like this huge pothead. She smelled like pot every morning. I'd smell her at 10:30 in the morning. I was like, man, she smells good.
She smells good.
Oh, yeah, and she sees some of my stuff, and she's just like, where do you come up with this? This is brilliant. And, you know, but then I'd feel like $1 million, right? And then there'd be this like girl beside me with this piece of shit drawing or sculpture, and then she'd say the same thing to her. Oh, this is brilliant. Where'd you come up with this? This is fantastic. And I'm like thinking, what? Do you even know what you're talking about? Are you are you just being nice, or are you just really fucking stoned at 10 in the morning? I don't know, but she was cool. Her name was Miss Millard. She was probably about, I don't know, we're all like 15, 16. She was probably about 35.
So
She was pretty cool.
you're not the only one of my friends I've put in my story though. Just FYI. I put in another buddy of mine that died just recently. I put him in because I wanted him with me. I wanted him with me always. He's there. If anytime I want to think of him, I just, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know, man. I had a buddy. He committed suicide. This was a long time ago. Back in '93, because he was only.
No,
17 or 18.
No,
yeah.
man, it wasn't suicide.
Hung himself because his ex-girlfriend wouldn't let him see his baby anymore, so he hung himself in a bathroom with his own t-shirt. Public bathroom. Some little kids found him in a park. I was just like,
That's messed up.
you piece of shit, man. I didn't like that. One, killing yourself, you're a piece of shit. And two, why would you hang yourself in a fucking park? Who hangs out in parks? Kids. Who the fuck's gonna find you? Little kids, and that's what happened.
And Bob.
But I don't know, like it's hard to say what goes through people's minds when they're that depressed, but I mean, you don't need to do that near where children are gonna be. So I didn't like that. I didn't like a bunch of it. To this day, he's probably in hell in my religion. I'm Christian, so supposedly that's the one sin that God don't forgive. So I don't know, or else he's in purgatory in between. But he's definitely not in heaven. You don't go to heaven for that stuff, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm just the way I was raised.
Yeah, no.
Like, oh shit, man. There's this one thing I wanted you to check out. It's called the Dyatlov Pass. You ever heard of it?
No.
I'm gonna send you a link on one of your pages, and you can check out with your mom. I want you both to watch it together. You don't have to do it tonight. You can do this like a month from now. I'm gonna send you a link, and I'm gonna give you the basic story right now. Back in I think it was back in the late 40s. These people in Russia, they're Russians. There were a whole bunch of them. They went out on a hiking trip. In this Siberian Russia where it's really cold, man. But they were experienced and they knew what they were doing, and they set up their tent one night. And then next thing you know, they don't report back to where they're supposed to be reporting back. A couple weeks later, and then they go look for them, and they find their tent, and their tent's cut open, right? But it's cut open from the inside, not the outside. And then they eventually find them all, and they're dead. I don't want to tell you any more than that because it'll ruin it. But after you watch this, you'll be like, what? This don't make sense. It's just really, really, really weird.
So, my buddy wasn't suicide though. He died of muscular dystrophy. His muscles deteriorated.
We used to have this thing, Bob, called the MS book marathon from my entire time from kindergarten to grade 8. And what you did is you had this great big sheet and you went to everybody's house all over town. I used to live in a town that only had 2,000 people in it. And you go to their house, and if you read a book, they give you 5 cents. So right on, or 10 cents or 25 cents. And then when you're all done reading the books, at the end of the year, you go to the people's houses and they'll owe you like $2, $5, and then you take it back to your school, and every kid, all this money went to MS, and then they had little prizes for the top 10 students. Just little stupid stuff, like you win a toy or a calendar or something. But anyway, yeah, I remember that, man. I remember reading every UFO and Bigfoot book I would, and I love doing that, and I'm thinking, I'm doing this, and I'm helping some kid with MS. Right on. And I'm doing what I like to do. Yeah, I don't.
So-
I don't think the schools do that anymore. Yeah, multiple.
My buddy died of MD.
Yeah, that's-
I'm sorry.
That's
Where-
a very serious disease.
Where the where the muscles
All your
Just-
nerves go.
just
yeah.
deteriorated. You know.
Yeah, all your nerves are just gone.
One day he got sick with like a cold, and he never got better. I mean, never. It got to a point where he was like on oxygen. It just and what most people forget, your brain's a muscle too. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Everything is. Yeah.
your
We
brain's.
used to be the street where I used to live on. Like I said, it was just a small town, like 2,000 people, a very small town, and you know, with only like 10 streets, and it's just small. And then we used to have hockey on my street, which was called College Street, and then the street road hockey. And then the street over, the next week we played the kids on the next street called Pearl Street. Well, we used to cut down Thomas Street and then to go over to Pearl Street, and there was a kid on the corner who used to sit out front every day. His name was Casey Moore. He had cerebral palsy.
I have cerebral
used to
palsy, Cryptic.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
And we
sorry.
used to stop and talk to Casey, but Casey couldn't talk at all.
Yeah.
He was in a wheelchair, and his head was always to the side, but he always was so happy to see us. And he would like clap his hands, and we'd come over, and we're all the same age, you know, like 8, 9 years old. Casey's the same age as us. And his mom used to be the town's dentist assistant, so we all knew her. And he had an older sister that was like in high school or something, named Rhonda. Never seen her too much because she was like way older than us. We used to always come over and talk to Casey before the game, and then when we're all done coming back to College Street, we'd come back over, and Casey would be still sitting over in front of his house, and we'd come up to sit there and talk to him and get a drink out of his garden hose.
Okay, I got one
He was
for
really
you.
cool.
Was she
But he
hot?
couldn't talk. He couldn't talk. Huh? Yeah, but she was like, we were too young to. Yeah, she was, but we were too young to like girls. Like we're only 8 or 9, you know. Like, but we wanted to go play hockey. We don't care about his blonde-haired sister running off with the football player because we're just like kids. We
Yeah.
just always came over to say hello to Casey because nobody teased Casey and everybody liked Casey, and that's just the way it was. There was no need to be mean to him. He was always sitting out front of his house in the wheelchair just before the sidewalk, and he used to just love it, man, when we'd come over and, hi Casey, how are you, how's it going? He'd clap his hands, and that's the only way he communicated. He couldn't talk. And he had glasses and blonde hair, and I remember like always, we never once walked past him and ignored him. We always walked up to him and talked to him, and not just for like 10 seconds. We'd like, hey, how's it going, you know, and talk to him just like us. And you're the only other person I met in my entire life that has cerebral palsy other than him. And I knew right away when I first was watching your videos, I thought of Casey right away. But the only difference between you and Casey was, I told you, like Casey was way had it real bad. He couldn't talk or anything, you know, and you talk just as normal as anybody.
Yeah, there were like four kids in my homeroom because I got mainstreamed, went to regular ed classes, but they had me do special ed homeroom though.
Oh, yeah.
And there were like
Well, I
four.
don't even look at you as a disability. I honestly don't. Like, I mean, you're just my friend, and you and I shoot shit, talk, and I don't even think about it at all. And like, to me, I think Rob's more off than you. You're more on the ball than Rob. Rob and I are like horse around, have fun, but I mean,
and that
you're as equal as anybody else, man. Put it that way. And I enjoy our conversations and friendship quite a bit.
and that's why I like YouTube, because you know people don't get to judge you on YouTube. I know we just
Yeah, but
finished.
I don't know. Be ready, Bob. You might one day get a rude comment and it might hurt your feelings. You might have somebody make fun of you. I've seen people do it to Rob all the time because they don't know that Rob's acting. And I've seen people have comments from Rob where they've made fun of him, saying like, you know, like something's wrong with him mentally, and they've called him really bad names, and they don't know he's acting because like I've talked to Rob, and Rob's the same as you. He's normal. He doesn't sit there and think he's a special agent. This is just a character. Rob doesn't walk around the house flashing his badge or walk down the street in Scotland.
Yeah, like,
where he lives in Scotland. Yeah, Rob busts his ass on a fishing boat for his dad, and his dad has cancer, and Rob's doing 10 times the normal work he normally does to support the family, and that's why me and Rob don't have as many videos as we did like a year ago, because he's manning up. You know, he told me his dad's got cancer, and you know, he's so like I said, like somebody gave me trouble on one of their videos. I'll even link it to you one time so you can read it. And the guy said he gave me trouble, and he said I was taking advantage of a handicapped person. Yeah, and I said, bull fucking shit, man. He's an actor. We act this stuff out. And I said, here's a link. I just sent him a care package like 2 weeks ago, and like with a hat and a shirt and a toque, and like fuck, man, that cost me to mail it. Just to mail it, man, it cost me like $40 to mail it to Scotland. That's not counting the shirt costs 10. Well, my buddy made it, so because he had a sign company and a shirt company. So the hat was 10, the shirt was 10, the toque was $20. And to mail it was 40. So don't tell me I'm taking advantage of somebody that's mentally retarded. Like, fuck. He's not mentally retarded. He's just as smart as anybody else. And like, and then the guy says to me in the comments, he goes, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I watched the video.
I'm sorry, I watched the video."
And he said he's a really good actor. Because he thought that I just like was taking somebody I found on YouTube that was like mentally handicapped and then using them to make videos. Like, bullshit. Man, this guy is I consider Rob and you the same. You guys are my friends. Like, I don't take advantage of anybody, and let alone a friend.
But if they're gonna judge you, they're gonna do that anyway. You know what I mean? YouTube.
Yeah, but like when it comes to Rob, man, like, he's acting. That's the thing that some people don't understand. He's acting. He's reading a script, and he's trying to like look like he's unaware and dumb and stupid. And he's kind of like, we made this character to be like Peter Griffith, Maxwell Smart, and James Bond all slapped together, where he's like this bumbling special agent. You know, but yet when it gets right down to it,
you know who he reminds? You know who the character reminds me of?
What?
The original Alfred. I'm not talking about the Alfred you probably grew up with, where he was competent and, you know, Batman's butler Alfred.
Oh, Rob's no Alfred.
Have you read?
No.
Have you
No,
read?
I know who Alfred is.
Have you read the original Alfreds from the 1930s, though?
No, I didn't
Alfred
even know there were any.
Alfred originally was an idiot. They've smartened him up as
Rob. Yeah, well, Rob. I don't really like to put Rob and Alfred in the same category, because the Alfred I know is charming, intelligent, and the Rob I know is just like he's like this guy that actually does all these things, but he's such a bumbling fool that almost sometimes he's like Maxwell Smart. It's almost like
and he stumbles across this.
He somehow solves the case when he didn't even really solve the case. It's like this was there at the right time. I don't know, like, you know who Maxwell Smart is?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah, I
Rob's
do.
kind of like him and Peter Griffin together with a slice of James Bond. I don't know. It's just Rob plays it good. Like Rob plays his like character really good. I wish I could write some of the stuff a little better, but that's. I've noticed though, we get better and better. Like we got this one story coming up about, I think it's a Slyclops or something. I don't know. I have to look, but we got a couple ones coming up because the next season's starting in January or February. Whenever I make the videos, Rob already sent me a couple things back in November. Let me see. Oh, okay, here's one. Here it is. It's magic, isn't it?
Fighters approaching Fortress of Solitude.
Okay, magic. Okay, here it is. One's about Rob returning to the planet of Mars.
I hear you nearly took down
He went to
Superman.
Mars
With one hand
about
tied behind
2
my
or
back.
3 years ago.
That is seriously freaking cool.
And I'm trying to find out about what's. He tells me his squad gets like wiped out by this like giant spider bat rat looking thing. And I'm trying to find out the information, and then all he's telling me is like, the air on Mars was red, the wind was red, the water was red, and I'm like, but what about blah blah blah? And he's like, you know, like the cheese was red, the wine was red, you know, the flag was red, and he goes on and on about that.
Red. Everything was red.
And he just keeps going on, babbling on, but like, yeah. I also have this other one where he gets pulled over.
I got one for you. When we end up, I don't know if you guys are gonna follow us, but when we here in the United States end up going to Mars in 2032, I think it is, you can actually do a video of him, like you could. Oh, I forgot you did. I forgot you didn't believe in.
Until you check out some videos, and then it's like, oh my god, I didn't know this, and I didn't know that, and you didn't tell us in school this, and I never saw that on TV. But it's a hard pill to swallow, mostly if you're an American, because it's a huge pride thing. So you'd be like, oh, I don't believe that.
No, if you send me the videos, I'll look into it.
Yeah, there's this one called "The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon." It just ruins you.
It just ruins you.
Oh, it does, man. I mean, you can't even say, but what about, or if, or you can't do nothing. You watch this video, and then at the end, you're like, bummer.
Oh yeah, I just froze that guy. Did you see it? Are you watching this?
I gotta click over to the other spot. I was looking at my other channel.
Power Girl
I'm
wins.
sorry.
I get all these messages all the time about thanking me. No, I'm not watching any game. I was looking at I get these people always responding about thank you for that PlayStation video I told you about fixing your joystick.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while when I'm talking to you, I'll see this little red thing on my bell, and then
Yeah.
I'll click that, and I'm
Yeah.
reading like people saying thank you, because
Yeah.
it's a really popular video, and then I have another video that's popular too, but I don't respond back. It's just people. It's just it's nothing to respond
Stupid.
to. It's nothing. But the other one I like to respond to because I know them people. When they say thank you, save me $60. No problem.
As,
Yeah, I have other people saying, you know, like I was gonna throw my PlayStation out the window. I was so mad. Then I watched your video, and I did what you said, and now I'm happy. Thank you very much. You saved me money. And then, you know, I have like money bags, emojis. Click, 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 click across the message. No problem. Hey,
So-
you know, I'm gonna watch right now, Bob. I'm gonna watch this. You're gonna hear it. I know you can hear it in the background, so here we go. Okay, oh, we got it on mute, so I gotta do it. There we go.
Oh, you can't be seeing this unless it's on 8 o'clock.
I watched that. I watched that one. I know what you're talking about now.
Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist.
Oh, Rob Fair's choice, certainly. Yeah, he's got so many videos of him in his car. He used to do all of his videos out of his car at first. He has like we have our file videos about where he talks about Hulk Hogan. His dad was replaced at WrestleMania 3 before the match, and because he was working for the CIA and the Russians killed him or something like that. I can't remember.
So anyway, I might take into consideration that video as long as it's not crazy like the Michael Jackson lady, the lady that feels the Michael Jackson's still alive.
Oh, I didn't know. Is there somebody that thinks that?
Yeah, there's a lady that her whole channel is devoted to how he's alive.
Oh my goodness!
And
Isn't that something, man? To be that nuts?
He made she made like 3 DVDs, and she's always like, buy my DVD, and here's why. And
yeah, I don't like those buy stuff. Like, go away.
Yep, she's crazy, man. I mean,
though there's one thing that you could do with Anna, and then you could spam it every once in a while. I never make a GoFundMe page for help you fund your comic book or something. See how that works. Set a goal on that for I don't know how much it costs.
no, we got some money. We're putting stuff aside. Cryptic suggested a GoFundMe for my story.
What's the cost to make a comic book?
That's why I said that.
$20 to $4,000. Look at a GoFundMe for $5,000. I don't know. You never know. And then there's people, man. No.
We're gonna
Shit.
My buddy's published his own legitimate book before. He's gonna help me publish it, and then hopefully once it's a real book, if it gets a little bit of attention, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I can get it to be a comic that way there too. If it gets a little bit of attention.
Yeah, you got that. Hellboy. I'm not really big on Hellboy. See, I'm sitting there on your main screen. Hellboy.
You're watching me.
I don't know. I never liked his.
Hellboy.
I just don't like his look. It's not what he is. I just don't like his look. I could have made a better looking Hellboy. and I don't really care for the actor. I liked him in Quest for Fire.
Yeah.
I liked him in a couple Outer Limits. But I don't.
He was in the Outer Limits?
Oh, done dozens of times.
Really?
Oh,
I watched that. I know what that is. But back then I was a young kid, you know? Or a younger
yeah,
kid.
What's
Younger
his name?
kid.
Ron something.
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman. Let me see. I'm pretty sure he was. Ron.
Yeah, according to Cryptic, he was on it.
Fighters
I'm
approaching
pretty
contact.
sure he was on.
You know who was in the Twilight Zone?
He was not.
Mom's heard this story 3 times this week.
You won't choke once I have.
I'm telling Cryptic who was in the Twilight Zone.
Okay.
I'll push the needle
Found
till
it.
it's scary.
Go ahead.
Begin.
Who played one of the monsters in the Twilight Zone? Winnie the Pooh. The voice of Winnie the Pooh. He who did?
I don't even like Winnie the Pooh, even though I know it's Canadian. No, I don't know who even does the voice for Winnie the Pooh. I didn't like the cartoon, and nothing much about Winnie the Pooh.
But it was weird because he was like all pissed. He was like all pissed off in this Twilight Zone, and he was telling people he was like it was like they made Winnie the Pooh angry. It was weird to hear his voice all pissed off, you know.
Boring.
I found it. It's called Black Box: The Outer Limits episode, season 4, episode 25. He's in it. I told you. I don't lie to you, buddy. I knew I seen him on Outer Limits, and there it is, Black Box. Got 3 out of 5 stars for the episode.
God damn it.
Is it on CVS?
It's the Outer Limits from the 90s. I don't know what channel it's on, where you can find it, but
Hellboy
you probably
wins.
find it.
Because if it was on CVS,
just for fun, I'm gonna look it up on YouTube. See this there.
it was on. If it was on CBS, I'd look it up using All Access.
Black Box. Yep, it's there. Outer Limits has Black Box on YouTube.
We-
A whole bunch. Yeah, Outer Limits. They got a lot of them. I know. I've watched tons of YouTube on YouTube. Outer Limits and Twilight Zones and Tales from the Dark Side and Tales from the Crypt. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, you can find a lot of cool stuff on YouTube.
You can.
Sometimes you gotta write. Yeah, sometimes you gotta write the words a little different. But it's there, because I remember my dad was saying to me a long time ago, he's like, where do you find all these movies you're talking about? And I said, sometimes you gotta write them down different, and I'll explain to him, because sometimes you gotta write down, like, if it's a whole movie, put down, like, Planet of the Apes, Part 1, for example. And then you'll find the whole movie, this guy will have it all cut down in 12 pieces.
Or
But if
li-
you just put down Planet of the Apes, you might not find it.
Or
I'm
like,
just giving you an example.
or like how I had to do. I filmed myself watching a movie, and I filmed the whole movie in parts. It's Comic Books Declassified. It's about the old comic book code. Do you remember the comic book code?
Comic
Cryptic?
book code?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you, what's comic, did you say the comic book code?
Yeah, it was the thing they used to use to censor the books. How they couldn't say zombie back
I'm
in the
looking at it
day.
right now. It was formed in 1954.
Yeah, there's a
Comic Magazine Association of America.
there's a whole movie on it on my channel.
Oh, no. I
Check
didn't
it
know
out.
Nothing about this. Didn't know nothing about this.
Check it out, man. Anyway, I gotta let you go, but I'll be back.
Yeah.
I gotta go do something.
No problem, dude. Alrighty.
Alright.
Okay, adios. What?
Did I get the thing off there?
Alright?
Alright.
Alright, I'll be around if you want me. Take it easy. I'm leaving the party.
Say goodbye. Oh, he's off.